Dad, why did you start the Australian Leadership Project?
Ted, that's a great question. Why am I so passionate about celebrating the good news about Australian leadership, understanding the qualities of Australian leadership, and understanding what Australians want from their leaders? It goes back to my time working in North and South America, where there was an admiration, indeed a romance about Australian leadership across the corporate sector, government, institutions, men and women on the street. Indeed, Tourism Australia's figures indicate that Australia is the dream destination for most Americans. I had the chairman of one of America's largest corporations say to me, "You Aussies remind me of the Americans of 100 years ago. Nothing is impossible." Indeed, the more people had spent time working with Australians or in Australia, the romance was indeed stronger. The Secretary General of the Brazil Olympics said to me, "I want an Olympic Games like Sydney, a legacy like Melbourne 1956. After my period of working in the Americas, I came back and had the honour of working in the G20 presidency, where I experienced heads of state, finance ministers, central bank governors, trade ministers, the heads of the largest corporations and unions and NGOs, the Y20, the brightest young people in each of the G20 countries. And right across the board, there was this trust in Australian leadership, our ability to make sense of public policy across many, many countries, our ability to get people to compromise and reach agreement, our ability to speak simply, our straightforwardness in communication. No one's ever going to die wondering what an Australian thinks. And I just remember it was ministers saying, "We trust you. We agree to that proposition." And it didn't matter whether it was our Prime Minister or our Treasurer or our other officials who were working in that. And then I came back to Melbourne to re-establish a working career in the private sector. And I was struck by the negativity around Australian leadership. Not just in the media, but at dinner table conversations and on the street. People seem to lack confidence in leaders in politics, in business, and in institutions. Now, why is that so? On every index, it's clear that no people on earth have ever lived better than the Australians of today. The United Nations Development Index ranks us at the top. The OECD Better Living Index ranks us at the top. The Economist ranking of cities has 5 of our cities in the top 15, and Melbourne the best place to live for the last 6 years. So why are people unhappy? Indeed, as one of the ambassadors from another country said to me, "Who do you people compare yourselves to? No one lives better than you, but you seem to be dissatisfied with the way you live and your leadership." So, my view is it's the constant negativity that drives down that confidence. Because leadership has never been better. The training of our leaders have never been better. The results that enable us to live in this healthy, clean environment, a prosperous environment, one of the highest average lifespans on earth, indicates that we've had good leadership, not just over hundreds of years, but over thousands of years. So this project is designed to ask you, the men and women and children of Australia, to share your stories of Australian leadership, what you think Australian leadership is, and the qualities you demand and want of your Australian leaders.